is Off the Wood. This is Andrew Brophy, and let's talk some shit. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Thanks for coming on.
Anytime.
You're living in Melbourne again now, I hear?
Yes, moved back 2 months ago.
And Brett told me that you were pretty much staying on his couch.
Yep.
And he said, come on a link tour. And you got your shit together and bailed. Is that right? Is that how it happened? Tell me the story of how you got to the UK all of a sudden.
I went to stay with Brett because Brett was, I don't know if he was a distributor, but he was doing, I think he got me on TSA flow, so he'd give me some clothes, and then he used to come down to Margaret River all the time because at the time he was dating a girl whose mum lived in Margaret River.
Yes.
So he'd come to the skate park and he'd give me think boards, and he was just a ledge. And then, so I just, he took to me for some reason. Then I went and stayed with him in Perth a few times, and he started doing Link through our Bogley Cliche.
Link footwear, that's now gone.
And said that they were going to Europe for a trip for the first Link tour. And he said that if I was able to get out there, that he would take me on it. So I asked my mum, and then I hadn't seen my brother for years at the time, and he was already in London living with his wife.
Right.
So that was kind of my entry. So my grandfather said, do you want to go and see your brother for your birthday? And I said, sure. So he bought me a ticket to London. My mum's English, so I have a UK passport. So
okay.
That was it. And I went, buy me a ticket.
So were you on Link, or was it just like come on the road and
I think I was
some dudes, or what? Like?
I think I was just flow kid in Australia, and then I went over, and I think Link died before I ever had the chance to actually get on
Yeah, because I was living with Brett when it started, and then he moved back to Perth, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh no, it's over.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was like a week.
Yeah. I think they spent too much money on advertising before shoes were out, so they just dug a big hole and then jumped in it and buried themselves.
So you get to the UK, you stay with your brother, and you went on a Link tour straight away. Like,
I can't remember how.
Was it Europe or was it just UK?
No, it wasn't even UK. It was Europe, like France and Geneva, Switzerland, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Bogger was doing, because that was through Cliche.
Yeah, I was at a Cliche early on.
Did you know Al before then?
No.
Queensland legend Al Boglio, in case you don't know who we're talking about.
I didn't even know what Cliche was then.
Oh, right. Well, it was new anyway, right? It was...
No, Cliche had been around for a while. I mean, I'd watched like Europa and stuff before that, but I didn't really put two and two together.
You didn't realise how big it was going to be anyway.
Yeah, I just didn't know as a kid.
You're over there staying with your brother, so you're living off his means, so to speak.
For sure.
You're just milking your brother's wealth for a while.
I think I had like $5,000 that my mum and dad, like
Damn, man, you were hooked.
The fun. I used to work at Coles, so I probably saved about $50.
So you would have made $5,000 in about 24 months.
And then, so yeah, I just, after the Link tour, I went back to stay with my brother in London, and I think I harassed Boglio heaps by email because he was stupid enough to tell me his email address. So I just tried to get boards off him all the time. Because at that time, I was riding 7.5s and just fucking annihilating them.
Another thing he told me was that you had to pull your finger out because these are words from Al Boglio, not my words. He was breaking too many boards to give him flow, and he wasn't doing enough.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it was Al or Margaritas that put a foot up your ass, but apparently you all of a sudden turned around and started producing and started to be the Andrew Brophy that we all know today. Is that right, or am I just talking out my ass?
No, it would have been Boglio for sure. I think I remember the exact moment when I went into his office and he was like, who the fuck do you think you are? And I was like,
right. There you go.
I don't think I'm anybody.
I'm Andrew, hi.
But yeah, no, Al definitely put the boot into me. But I was young and I'd just come from the countryside and Margaret River, and London's London. It's awesome to party in, and everyone that lived there. So if I just got caught up everyone gets caught up in something. Yeah. And I love drinking booze and raging.
Because you're a human.
It's fun. Yeah. And then Al just said, like, what are you doing? You can do this, or you can fuck it up, like you're fucking it up now. And I was like, all right, I won't fuck it up. I tried less to fuck it up. Less to fuck it up.
Yeah, more effort on not fucking it up. Yeah. So how was it hooking up with people in a brand new place? And
took me ages, man. I think it took me like 6 months before I really made any mates in London. My brother worked in central London, and I found out that I could skate from central London, from where my brother worked in Russell Square, to Covent Garden, and from Covent Garden I could skate across the bridge to South Bank.
And Slam City Skates is in Covent
Garden? It was in Covent Garden, that's why I used to run that line.
And that was the hangout spot?
Kinda, yeah. So I'd just go there, and then Brett, through the Link stage, I kind of met a few people. Yeah, but I still didn't make any, I still had, the Londoners.
Mates. Dudes weren't calling you to go for a roll?
Fuck no. And so I just go to South Bank and skate flat ground and hang out and just try and make friends. But it's always weird being in, you know.
Yeah. And how long were you in the UK? So I saw you in, what, 2003, I think. It was the middle of the year. It was like July, August. And
that must have been as soon as I got to London.
Maybe it was. Once I was telling a mate
it was cool where you were staying,
we were
right?
at South Bank.
Yeah.
And Jakey was with Jake Duncan, Corbin Harris, Jamie Goodwin. That's who was on the trip with us.
Yeah.
So we're rolling around. I'm throwing my fat ass around the steps and shit, not doing anything. And Jakey was spewing and throwing his board or whatever. And you said to him, dude, you're in Europe because you can do tricks on a skateboard. Yeah. Just chill. And he just went, oh, yeah, right, yeah, fuck. And it was like me and Corbin were like, it's actually, someone's got through to him. Like, this is sick. And then, sure enough, Jake killed it on that Europe tour. And next thing you know, everyone knew Jake Duncan around the world. Yeah, and it wasn't long after that that you started getting recognition as, you know, the Aussie man-child in the UK. So how long were you in the UK for?
I was there for 4 years, 4.5 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So Cliche put you on the program and all that sort of thing?
Cliche put me on when I was probably 19. About 19.
Yeah.
19.
As an AM?
Yeah.
And when did you go pro for them? Were you in America at
No, I was back in, yes. I'd moved from London back to Australia and then to LA, and they turned me pro when I was in LA.
Okay. So let's move to the 4-star thing. You hooked up on 4-star, you get on DVS. Like, how did all this come about? Like, how did the connect? You moved to America, you don't know anyone. I mean, obviously you
This is prior to being back here. So I got on 4-star in the UK.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Just as UK.
Yeah.
Florida with Nick Jensen. So we both got on 4-star at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I got on DVS through the same. It was being distributed by the same people, so it was just like.
Oh, so they did like 4-star.
They're like, do you want to come and skate for DVS and 4-star? And I was like, yeah, sure. I was broke kiddie. I was like, fuck, give me £100 a month. It's awesome. I can get pissed, you know. Exactly. Joy. I'll do whatever I want.
Exactly what I told you to do.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I told Al, I was like, Al, I have to get out of London. It's just going to fucking just grind me into the ground. Yeah. And he was like, go wherever you want. It doesn't matter. Because Kale was pro by then already, and he was in Australia still, so. Came back here, skated for 4-star, DVS, Cliche, and was filming for I suppose my first video part for them. And I don't know how I managed to. I remember getting an email from Rick Howard asking me if I wanted to go to Canada on a 4-star trip. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, fuck, sweet.
And you were technically on the UK distro.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you were on the American team.
No.
So was that like a test tour, like where they take a dude on tour if he gets on
looking back for sure it would have been, but at the time I didn't even think anything.
You were just like, I'm fucking on tour.
I was like, sweet, let's go to Canada. And then I get off the plane and there's Costin and Guy Mariano like, hey, Van's over here. And I was like,
right. So that was it, just thrown in the deep end. Yeah. How was that, a couple of week tour or something like that?
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah. And from then it was like, you're on the team?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's put him on. Sweet. And then, and was DVS the same transition? Like,
when I moved back to Australia, I used to only get my shoes from the distributor in London.
Yes.
And then I moved back here and I just used to email the team manager in the States and ask, because I wear a half size, so I can't get half sizes in Australia, because Australia have not yet got that far in life, but we will.
Yeah. We just got the internet too.
Yeah, we're fucking blowing it. Make good beer. Anyway, so I just emailed the American dude, and then, I don't know, same thing. Do you want to come on a trip in the States?
Come on a trip and then, tray flip pick table and then we'll put you on. Yeah, sweet.
That was it.
Was that your test?
That was fun.
Look, dickhead, if you want to be on, you got to flip this pick table.
That was the contract.
Yeah.
I went like this. I know I don't play cricket, so I'm not going to just cap around.
You're like a white trash, dude with the curled over head.
I don't know, fuck. It's just what happens.
It's pretty motocross.
Moto?
Yeah. Pretty moto with a flat bill, as they call it.
Well, I don't go dead flat, do I?
You don't go and put your ears in and all that sort of shit. No. Fashion tips with Andy Brophy.
Yeah.